Rich Dad, Poor Dad is considered by many the #1 personal finance and entrepreneurship book of all time. The book was written by Robert Kiyosaki in 1997 and has sold more than 30 million copies. The book is the story of a person who has two fathers. The first was his biological father, the poor dad, and the other was the father of his childhood best friend, the rich dad. Both fathers taught Robert how to achieve success, but with very disparate approaches. Throughout the book, Robert compares both fathers, their principles, ideas, and financial practices. In this video, we will see 5 of the most important teachings of this book. So keep watching this video till the end and take notes. Because if you apply the teachings of this book in your daily life, becoming wealthy will be as easy as destroying that like button, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the notification bell. The first takeaway of the book is, most people work for money. Rich people have money work for them. And let's face it, the norm is never gonna make you rich. If you go to school, earn high grades, find a job, work for 40 years, and save money in your bank account, you'll never become rich. It's simple math, my friends. And I'm not saying something you don't already know. The majority of people in the US earn between $30,000 and $100,000 per year. So if you're good enough, maybe you can manage to save $20,000 per year. If you work for 40 years, you'll end up sitting on a nest egg of $800,000. And this is the best case scenario, because I know a lot of people can't save $20,000 per year. I know, someone in the comments will tell us about the husband of the cousin of his girlfriend that went to Stanford and now he's a manager in a Fortune 500 company and now he's making $500,000 per year. Well, yeah, people like your girlfriend's cousin's husband might exist in real life, but we all know that only a few people are like that. Your job will never, ever make you rich. That's why you should never work for money. Instead, you should let money work for you. And we'll see how in just a few seconds. The second takeaway of this book is, buy assets and not liabilities. For those who don't know, assets are things that put money in your pocket, and liabilities are things that take money from your pocket. So if you have $1,000 to spend, what would you buy? Would you prefer to buy the latest iPhone or to invest in an index fund? I know an iPhone seems the cooler answer to most of us. But if you bought the latest iPhone, after 10 years the iPhone will not be worth a thing. Instead, if you invested in index funds, and if we consider an average return of 10%, after 10 years your $1,000 investment will grow and become almost $2,600. So it's super easy. Don't buy the latest smartphone to show off in front of your friends. Instead, buy a $200 smartphone. Don't buy the newest BMW either. Buy a small used car and invest the difference. Don't go and buy a Hermes belt for your girlfriend. Just buy her something more affordable, and if she loves you, she'll definitely understand, so don't worry. But if she gets upset, then I guess, my friend, you should start thinking of reevaluating the relationship. I'm sorry. The point is, don't spend money on stupid liabilities. There are plenty of assets to buy. You can invest in index funds. Just invest and wait. Your investment will flourish with time. You can invest in a rental property and generate a monthly cash flow. You can invest in Bitcoin, which is the future of money. You can invest in books. They're very cheap to buy and they can make you huge returns on investments. And by the way, you can take a look in the description to see the books we recommend you to read. And there are many other investments to make. We've made a complete video on this topic, and you can click here to watch after you finish this one. So, buy assets and let your money work really hard for you. Now, let's move on to the third takeaway of this book, which is the Rich Dad Cash Flow Quadrant. So E stands for employee. So if you're in this category, it means that you exchange your time and effort for money. If you stop working, you stop getting paid. We talked about that earlier in this video. An employee can never become rich. The S stands for self-employed or solopreneur. So if you're a freelancer, you are also exchanging your time for money. And you also can't take 6 weeks holiday, because if you went for a holiday, your business will most probably stop generating income. The B stands for business. It is when you create a business and hire employees that work hard for you. And this is very interesting, because once you build a system that works, you can go for a 6-week holiday and the business will continue generating money for you. The I stands for investor. An investor invests in stocks or buys a certain company and just lets his money work hard for him. For example, if someone invested $1 million in a company that yields a 6% annual dividend, he'll be making $60,000 per year without doing literally anything. So, you should always look to the right side of the cash flow quadrant. The path to the right side of the quadrant starts with thinking in terms of acquiring assets that produce passive income, rather than living in a pattern of paycheck to paycheck. Start small. Have patience. Watch as your wealth grows over time. And destroy that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. Let's move on to the fourth takeaway of this book. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. And this is one of the most important takeaways of this book. The majority of people are afraid of failure. They avoid making mistakes. And do you know why we all have this fear in common? Because in school they teach us that mistakes are bad and that we will be punished for making them, and they actually punish us for them. Yet, if you look at the way humans are designed to learn, we learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling down. If we never fall down, we would never walk. I know at this moment you feel that you should accept your failures. It seems easy and it totally makes sense, but after a few seconds your fear will return and reclaim your thoughts, and you'll once again be controlled by it. That's why, if you truly want to change your mindset, you should keep nourishing your mind with the right ideas. And you do that by subscribing to our channel and watching our weekly videos every Wednesday, without missing any. Failures are behind the greatest accomplishments humankind has ever witnessed. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before finally inventing the light bulb for his company General Electric. And as our beloved Michael Jordan said once, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Don't be afraid of what others will say if you fail in your first business. It's normal to fail. It's part of the process. You should consider failing as an opportunity to learn and grow. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn, and the more you increase your chances of success. And here's a quote by Robert Kiyosaki. "The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth in what seems to be an instant." So, once you have this mindset shift, and once you've programmed your mind to see failure as a learning experience, you will be able to achieve massive success. And here comes the last takeaway in this video. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. You could make $1 million today, but if you squander it tomorrow, it really doesn't matter a whole lot that you made the million. Let's take the example of Michael Carroll, who was a garbage man in England, when, at age 19, he won £9.7 million in the lottery in 2002. A mansion, drugs, and gold jewellery ate up the money quickly. By 2012, Carroll was broke and living off unemployment checks. And he is not the only one who made millions and ended up broke. A quick search on Google and you can find a lot of stories like this one. People lose the money because they lack financial education. Instead of buying solid assets, they spend their money on Gucci purses and other stupid liabilities. Commit to not being one of those people. Now, before you go, we'd like to invite you to visit the description below, where you'll find many resources to help you make money from the comfort of your couch. You'll find the books that we recommend to help you acquire the right mindset for success, a free video course that will teach you how to generate passive income, and how to create a 6-figures online business, and much more. By the way, if you're still here while the music is running, here are 2 videos that you'll love watching. The first one will show you the one thing that rich people buy that poor people don't, and the second one will show you how to become a millionaire in your 20s or early 30s. Just click on either one of them on the screen right here.